Hello everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new review concerning the Leopard 1, the tier 10 medium German tank. So, what do you need to know about this tank? Personally, it's one of my favorites of all time, considering all tier 10s, tank destroyers, heavies, etc. included, just because it had been in the game for so long and buffed or nerfed so many times that it's always a relief to play it again, pretty much. I play mine every 10 days or something like this, because if you play that all day long, it can be boring. Just because of how good the tank it is, and it's not really challenging for most people. And I'm gonna explain to you why this tank is the real shit at tier 10 right now. First thing first, if we talk about the pros and the cons real quick, you have no armor, an extremely good gun, and an extremely good mobility. Now we're gonna go into details so you understand what I'm talking about. Concerning the armor, I already told you, you don't have any. 52 at the front on the turret, 70 on the front of the hull as well. Clearly, with this tank, everybody is gonna go through, even if they are playing with HE shells. So it's extremely important for you not to be straight in front of your opponents. Don't try the front line, etc, etc. You can't do that with this tank. But when it comes to the gun itself, we have one of the best ever at tier 10. Nearly 3 points, no, not even nearly, I was about to say nearly 3.7, no, 3.6k average damage, 5.8 seconds of reload for 350 alpha damage. Personally, the only thing I don't really like about the Leo 1 is probably the penetration with gold shells, which is only 300, but if you use the right equipment, you can just upgrade it, so it's not really a problem. Something really interesting about the tank is probably the gun depression. The gun depression is 9 degrees. It's nearly the same as the T125 because the T125 has 10. And clearly with 9 degrees of gun depression, you can make it work on pretty much every single ridge line in the game. And that's where the strength of the tank is. You need to play it on ridge lines, you need to play it in peekaboo because your gun allows you to do that. That's the first thing. Now, concerning the rest of the tank, the mobility is extremely good. As I already told you, you can relocate quite easily, you can take advanced position for spotting, for everything. Clearly, the Leo 1, even if it seems to be a medium tank, it can be comparable to pretty much the Batchat and the Sheridan. Maybe not the Sheridan, because clearly the Sheridan is above everything in terms of mobility, but at least considering the mobility between the Batchat and the Leo 1, they are close to each other. So clearly, to me, the Leo 1 is more of a versatile light tank than a real medium, and that's why you need to adopt the playstyle that goes with it. Now, concerning the traverse speed, same, you have an amazing traverse speed concerning the turret or even the suspension. So yeah, regarding all of that, the tank is one of the greatest at tier 10. Now, how am I equipping in mine? For the provisions, it's simple: improved fuel, protective kit, and chocolate. I'm going always with all these three. I'm not using the special provisions, etc. For the ammunition, I go for that. I think it works pretty well because you need to have a lot of APCRs because of your reload time that is really, really quick. Some heat and some high explosive in case you fail on a grill 15 or something like that. Now the equipment. The only thing I'm going to change here maybe is the calibrated shells. You could go for the calibrated shells because clearly, look at this, you only lose 0.5 seconds of reload time. So maybe it's better for you to be sure to have that shell going in than rather having a better DPM. Personally, I go for the Gunrama, but here both are working extremely effectively. You just need to know which one you prefer. So try both and you will see which one fits the most your playstyle. Now, of course, enhanced gun laying drive to reduce the aiming time. I'm gonna reduce the aiming time the more possible because the gun dispersion of the tank is already great. Look at this, if I take the refined gun, I drop down to 0.25 dispersion, which is just simply amazing. Now, vitality, I go for the defense system because you're not gonna ram anybody. I go for the improved assembly because you don't have armor, so you don't need to strengthen the armor. Finally, the toolbox, because this one is useless, as I told you in pretty much every single videos. Specialization, camonet or improved optics. I would go for the improved optics. I don't know why I had camonets on, but yeah, improved optics clearly is the best. After, I go for the engine accelerator, and finally the high-end consumable. So nothing else to say about the tank. Let's go directly into the replay and see what we can do with it. So, concerning the replay, we were playing on Normandy, and I'm not alone, I'm with Ninja, because this game is from a previous stream I did with Ninja that you can check. You should check his channel as well, called Migas YouTube. But yeah, still, focusing on the game. As you can see, I didn't go to the middle. Why? Because I don't have the armor to bounce shots. That's why I would rather have a sneaky approach by trying my luck on the right side of the map, and you're gonna see that it's gonna pay off because it's exactly what you're supposed to do with the Leopard. The main thing is to be sneaky all the time, and that's why to me it's clearly not a tank I would consider telling noobs to buy, because you need to be a little bit experienced in order to make it effective. You need to know map positions, you need to know how to analyze the team matchup, etc, etc, and it really requires some experience in the game first. So clearly, yeah, not a newbie friendly tank. Now, concerning the game itself, you're gonna see the crazy accuracy I have. It showed it by the shot I just put on the AMX 50B, for example, but there are gonna be a few more of them. I'm quite lucky on these shots on the 50B because usually the 50B turret is quite troll most of the time. Here, yeah, for example, the one we just hit there. Clearly, I'm just amazed at the AMX 50B turret, but still, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to focus on what you're supposed to do during this game. For the moment, I'm staying with my team. I'm trying to get some support, not to be the guy pushed, but to be the guy that can sneak shots without being spotted. The main problem is that this T125 really wants to get me off here, and he does the right thing because clearly it's important to get me out of here. From this position I can nearly see everything, but I don't care. I have the greatest mobility ever. I'm gonna wait for Migas to come with me and just sneak around, and that's exactly what Migas is doing. We go for a shot on the T125, and now that we were 2 on the T125, it should be easy for us to take him down. I go in, I don't care, even if I take a shot, it's worth it if I manage to just destroy the guy. I went for some shots, and yes, we are gonna be able to destroy it. I told Migas, hey, maybe don't push, as he's not watching me and he can't really turn his turret against me, I'm gonna kill it. But Migas went in nevertheless and just tried to kill the T125. We finished the T125, now we only have to deal with the rest of the team. As you can see, I didn't try to take any risks for the moment because it's useless. I don't need to. I would rather keep my HPs knowing I'm quite a weak target regarding HE shells than just going straight in and getting destroyed. And that's what is gonna pay off at the end of the game, and you're gonna understand why. For the moment, as you can see, during the whole game, I never had been the first target of my enemies except for the T125, because the T125 was a good player, so he knew, he clearly knew he had to take me down, even if he failed. But as you can see, I'm not the first choice of everybody, and that's really, really important when you're playing the Leopard 1, not to be the first target. You need to be the last, like it's the case in this replay here, because if you are taking a lot of shots at the beginning, it's gonna be hard for you in the end game to be effective, except maybe sometimes you have to take shots. For example, if your ally is a one shot or things like that, if you can shield sometimes. But most of the time with the Leo 1, shielding is gonna result in something bad for you, because with 52mm of armor, don't expect the tank to bounce. Now, how am I gonna deal with that? At the moment, we are in a 2 versus 1 situation. I'm sure the Heavy 215B is a one shot, and I know the STB is not. The STB is 2 and maybe 3 shots before being killed, and the Heavy is a one shot. So my strategy here is to take some distance, because the Leopard 1 has a really, really great view range. So I'm gonna use it to be able to spot them before they spot me. And my first goal is to find the Heavy 215B, to kill it first before going on the STB in a 1 versus 1 situation. So yeah, that's gonna take a little bit, yeah, it's gonna take some time, because clearly I have to take distances. But it's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. You're gonna see why. And yeah, that's what you want to do in the end game with the Leo 1. You don't want to go front fighting. You don't want to go to the front line, first line. You don't want to take useless shots or facing heavies or even tank destroyers. It's something you don't do with the Leo, because if you do that, you are gonna get wrecked. And God bless the RNG, the FV215B seems to be AFK. So I'm gonna go for a shot on him, and now I'm pretty confident because I only have to deal with the STB, which has less HPs than I do. Therefore, if I don't miss my shots, I should be able to destroy it, and I'm pretty confident regarding my gun dispersion and my accuracy in general, because the Leo 1 is one of the few tanks that have the best accuracies in the goddamn game. Unfortunately, as I say that, I bounce the STB. I'm trying to go for another shot and I miss again, and here it starts to get stressful a little bit as he's popping adrenaline, but RNG finally is in my favor. I managed to get around the corner and kill the STB before he reloads because I have a better reload than him, securing 5 kills, the win, 5.5k damage and the ace tanker. So if I had to sum up the Leo 1, it's all about being sneaky. That's all. That's all you need to do with the Leo. You try to work on rich line, you try not to be the main target of your opponents, and if you do all of that combined, you should be able to do pretty good games. I'm not talking about ace tankers, but at least good games. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Tell me in the comment what you think about the Leo 1 and if the buff it received was justified or not, because it went from 6 seconds of reload to 7.8. And I'm gonna see you soon for a new video.